Butt naked speed. Hello everybody, welcome to the first official video of the Enthusiast List. My name is Valen Pross, and today we're going to be diving into the world of motorcycles and taking a closer look at the Batman approved beginner/commuter motorcycle from Honda, the CB500f. We're going to be answering all of the burning, or at least slightly warm questions you might have regarding what this bike is like to ride, who's it for, some pros and cons, and why I look like I'm just trying to bargain for your daughter's hand in marriage with a goat. Let's get to it. The CB500f is a motorcycle with an upright seating position that totes a 470cc 180 degree crank twin cylinder transversely mounted engine. Did I read all that information off of Wikipedia just so it sounds like I know what I'm talking about? Guilty. But what's all that jibber jabber actually translate to? In a nutshell, this smaller displacement twin cylinder engine that Honda has been duct taping to all kinds of bikes makes for a motorcycle that makes linear, manageable power in a very fuel efficient and quite frankly sexy copper tone package. It's the Hawaiian Tropic model of engines. Wrapped around this sexy penny of an engine is an equally attractive exterior, complete with sharp lines, brawny bodywork, and racing stripes that bring your cool level factor up to Burt Reynolds levels. Out of all the bikes I've ever ridden, surprisingly enough, this one gets the most compliments. Hell, I've even gotten thumbs up from grandmas when I'm riding this thing. It's grandma certified. It doesn't get any better than that. So, you've heard me rant about how this bike looks good. But more importantly, is McDonald's still selling the McRib? More importantly, does it ride good? And the answer to that is yeah! Woo! And no? See, this motorcycle is superb at cruising, lane splitting, commuting, babe hauling, and hitting speed bumps at 70 miles per hour. This bike has a very plush suspension setup that floats over road imperfections beautifully. It's light, maneuverable, and flickable. It has an upright seating position that makes it an absolute joy for longer rides, and an engine that delivers strong, smooth, usable power. But you can't have everything in life. The trade-off for all this lazy boy-esque comfort is that it is by no means a canyon carver or a racing bike. That plush suspension and lazy boy-esque comfort means that it's bouncier and looser in the corners and, bouncy in the corners. About as fun to beat on as a pile of dirt. This is the most comfortable bike I've ever cruised through the city with, but it's also the most uncomfortable bike I've ever put through the corners. Now for cruising, this bike is a dream, but once you start getting real low and deep in those corners, it all falls apart. It feels very unsettled. Just like my ex. However, this is only whenever you are riding at butt-naked speeds that would be considered illegal or dangerous, which is not what we're all about here on the Enthusiast List. The bike will handle spirited riding well, but if you're trying to jack knees, elbows, butt cheeks, or any other body parts through them corners, you'll be sadly disappointed. But in all honesty, you don't buy a goat to go win the Kentucky Derby. He ain't built for it. If you want a bike to do super sporty things on, you buy a super sport bike. I mean, it's in the name. That's just basic algebra. But if you want a bike that gives you phenomenal gas mileage, ride quality, styling, comfort, and reliability, well friend, this is the bike for you. Which brings us to the pros and cons. Affordability. This bike out of the door cost me 5,500 buckaroonies. Not bad. What the hell? My commute, I would average about 71 miles per gallon on this bike, which means this is the only bike where I can stand on higher moral ground while telling a Prius to suck it, because I'm being more environmentally conscious than that. Surprisingly enough, this was an even better MPG than I was getting with the Ninja 300 I owned previously. And I attribute that to the fact that you're not revving the beans out of the engine at highway speeds. Honda did a really good job with the gearing and the power on this motorcycle to make it just absolutely perfect for the streets. Alright, I know I've ranted about this quite a bit, but I mean, come on, just take another look. The fit and finish on this bike is fantastic. Absolutely no complaints here. Eyes glow like two fires, movement so graceful. If you're ever purchasing a Honda from a dealership and they offer to extend warranty, they're either joking, take you for an idiot, or just have solid sales tactics. Because if you didn't know, can't kill a Honda. 25,000 miles on this baby without a single issue. And if you stay tuned to the channel, I'll be showing you a CBR600RR that has 120,000 miles on it and still rocking the original chain. As previously stated, this bike rocks a plush suspension setup that won't give you a hernia over each pothole you come across. It has a comfortable upright seating position, and surprisingly, there isn't a whole lot of wind buffeting on this bike, even though it is a naked motorcycle. Plus, suspension makes it kind of sketchy when you're in those corners. No third digit on the dash, which is surprisingly honest, but still hurts me. Right here, in the ego. Wait, what? You mean there is a third digit on the dash? Well, I never seen it. Fuck that, the whip! It's a weird complaint, but for me, this is the only legitimate flaw of this bike, since it's something you deal with regularly, something that could have been easily designed better, and for me, is incredibly annoying. The gas tank on this bike has a second layer of sheet metal with a small entrance hole for the gas nozzle inside that makes it excruciating to fill up and especially top off the bike. Most motorcycles I've ever ridden have a large opening for the gas tank that makes it very easy to just rock the nozzle in and hold it at an angle in order to fill up the bike. However, the CB500f has a very shallow opening in the gas tank that requires that you hold back that foreskin thingy on the gas nozzle. I think it's called a boot. I should probably just call it a boot, huh? Anyways, in order to fill up this bike, you have to hold back the boot on the nozzle the entire time that you're filling, and if you ever try and top off the bike, you're gonna end up spilling gas everywhere, and it's just annoying. Allow me to introduce you guys to the concept of butt buzz. You see, the very first time I decided, you know what, let's see what this baby can really do, I should have realized the supposed lack of a third digit on the speedometer was a warning sign. You see, if you pin this bike out on the highway and then let off the throttle, those twin cylinders are a-pumping and will give you a shocking vibration in a very personal area. Right in the goulash! I have never felt more violated on a motor vehicle in my life. But you know, motorcycles are all about exploring new things. And on that day, I explored a side of my sexuality I never thought I would. So keep that in mind. And on that unusual note, that about wraps up our review on the CB500f. And so who's this bike for? In my opinion, you cannot find a more perfect bike for commuting.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
It makes a fantastic beginner's bike that will carry you through to the intermediate stages of riding. This would also be a perfect bike for anybody who's just trying to enjoy motorcycling in a very affordable and practical manner. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We have some cool videos coming up, so feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any of that juiciness. And as always, remember to smile, live it up, stay enthusiastic. I'll see you in the next one. But I want to say one thing to the YouTube people. Now I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have vibrational relations with that motorcycle, the CB500f.